Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're taking a look at another cracker from the people over at Thermalright. How they do it for the money, I'll never know, but I don't care because it's great for us because we all get fantastic bargains. This is certainly one of them. This is actually a new one on the market, so this is the Thermalright Assassin 120 Spirit Vision ARGB. I wish they would come up with shorter names, but this is the latest in the Spirit range and it's the Vision moniker, so it has a screen on it. So if you're looking for any of the Thermalright range and you actually want something with a screen on it, just look for one that has Vision in the name and it'll have a screen on it. Now what makes this actually quite unusual is the fact that the screen is absolutely tiny. This screen on here is about 1.5 inches. It's very small, 240 by 240 resolution, so you can still actually get a pretty decent display on it. And if you think back, if you're old enough, when things like Galaxian and Pac-Man and that came out in the early 80s, they were roughly kind of the same resolution, but on a much bigger screen in an arcade. So we've got that all squished down into a tiny little screen on the top of a compact CPU cooler. Now this particular cooler is pretty decent. In fact, they've managed to add that. They've also increased the performance over the standard Spirit version, and also it seems to be very well constructed. It only comes in at about 155mm in height, so it should fit into pretty much most cases. As you can probably tell, this is the ARGB version, so you do get an ARGB fan on there, and there's also the options of having non-RGB and also having a white version. So if you've got a white case and you want a white model, then that option is available too at pretty much the same prices, around about 25 quid here in the UK. Of course, as always, there will be affiliated links in the video description for you to check out local pricing near you. So in this video, it's not going to be a traditional unboxing as such as we normally do on the channel. This is kind of more of an overview and just some of my thoughts and experiences. And also, I've actually decided to put this up against some serious competition. So I've actually compared this with the Noctua NHU12S, which is a really tried and tested classic cooler and was one that people used to rush out and buy because of its excellent performance. Now obviously, it's getting on a little bit now. It's about 10 years old, maybe a little bit less than that, but it's an older cooler. But still, Noctua do kind of lead in a lot of areas, so it's a pretty good comparison. And also when it comes to price, the Noctua is around about £50, whereas this is half the price, literally at £25 here in the UK. So will the Thermalright keep up with the Noctua, or will it actually embarrass it? You'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out. So let's take a quick look at the packaging and go through some of the specifications. So as you can see, this is the Thermalright Assassin Spirit 120 Vision ARGB in black, and yeah, pretty much says what it is on the front of the box there. Also, you can just about make out that tiny little screen, and also it is supportive of Aurora Sync and all the other kind of RGB softwares. Also supports the latest and greatest processors from both AMD and Intel, so up to the LGA 1851 on Intel and AM5 on AMD. Looking at the side of the box, it talks about the TRCC software, which we've covered in videos before. So you've got a 1.54 inch custom LCD, 240 by 240 resolution, and also the cooler has full RAM compatibility, and you've also got that system information display and the infinity mirror ARGB on the fan. On the other side, it goes through the heatsink specifications and also the fan specifications, so feel free to pause the video if you want to check those out in more detail. The total rated fan speed of the fan on there is actually only 1500 RPM, which actually puts it very close to the Noctua. And in fact, they're actually almost identical in terms of their specification, which is kind of interesting. Now, taking a look at some of the installation, we've actually done an AM5 installation or AM4 installation, as you can obviously work out. So there is a separate video. If you want to check that out, I will link that in the video description so you can see how easy it is to fit. And it is really easy. The accessories box is very minimal, but it's got exactly everything you need. So you've got the color-coded options for the standoffs. So you've got the pinky red ones for AMD, you've got the blue and the black for Intel, and also you've got a backplate for Intel sockets. When it comes to the mounting brackets, they're universal brackets, you get 2 of them, and they're fine for AM4, AM5, and also all of the LGA setups. Also included, there is some Thermalright TF4 paste. You've got some instructions in there as well. And that is pretty much kind of it. We don't really need a great deal more of that. It is it. It is very simple, very easy to install. Literally takes you a few minutes. The only thing to look out for on this is because obviously now we've got this LCD screen or TFT screen or however you want to look at it, you also have to power that. So it will require an additional USB 2 port actually on your motherboard to get data from the TRCC software. And also it does require a SATA power plug directly from your power supply. Happy to say The cable on that is a very nice long one, and yeah, fits absolutely fine. I had no problems installing it in the PC whatsoever. And actually, top tip for you, if you're wondering how to cable manage the cable which comes out of the top of the LCD along your cooler, actually you can lift up the fan clips and put it underneath there, and it holds it in place very nicely. And also the fan clips are excellent. You don't need to touch them at all if you don't want to, because essentially when it comes out of the box, the screwdriver has got complete access to both sides of the screws with the fan in place. So that is excellent. No faffing around with spring clips unless you necessarily want to, or maybe you want to swap out the fan. Something which I was a little bit disappointed with is they don't give you an extra set of spring clips. So if you wanted to maybe do a push-pull configuration, grab yourself another Thermalright fan, place it on the back there to increase the cooling performance. Although, spoiler alert, you don't necessarily need to. Okay, so we've talked about the cooler enough. Let's take a look at the TRCC software, or Thermalright Control Center. So as you can see in the top corner there, it says the AS120 Vision. So the Assassin Spirit 120 Vision, so that is your cooler. If you have other devices, they will also populate in here, so you can switch between them. That's all good. So it shows you a representation on the screen of what is actually set up at the moment. And also you've got options there for things like your CPU temperature, the megahertz, percentages, etc. So you can go ahead and change those however you see fit. You can also move this around. It's very flexible. And also there are the kind of default settings that you can go through here. So if you click on this one, so it will change to that. You can go through, these are the kind of the default ones which are loaded, or I've got a custom one here which I've already configured for myself and saved. If you go over to the next tab across, you've got all these different faces which you can choose from. And again, you can go ahead and modify them should you wish to. So that's very nice, lots and lots of options there. Or again, obviously you can just create your own. If you go into the last tab there, you've got all these different ones you can choose from. So these are kind of background GIF type things. So if you click on one of these, you can then have that added to the back of your screen. If you wanted to do that, you can just go through as well, go into the settings bar, and you can do configuration settings in there, change text display output. You can kind of drag this stuff around, so if it's not in exactly the right place where you want it, you can just move it very slightly and change settings, etc., all that stuff. You get the general idea. It's a nice little flexible thing. Again, depending on your screen, you may want to go with something a little bit sort of higher definition or less busy, just so you can see what is going on in the background there. Again, you can choose whichever things you want. These do take a little while to load in sometimes, or to update on the screen. They actually update on the cooler much quicker than they do in the software for some strange reason. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but that is one of the things that does happen. And if you want to, you can have basically, yeah, you kind of like a blank background, so you can just show off your animations, various options. Anyway, yeah, I'm just kind of going over the same thing over and over. Again, choose whatever you want. That is up to you. I like this software a lot. It's pretty flexible, and again, for this sort of money, it's kind of insane. So let's go back to our original one, which I kind of like. I like the setup of this one, and that's it. It's pretty much happy days. So there you go, you can see it's a pretty impressive piece of software, but what is more impressive is actually the performance, surprisingly. I didn't think it was going to perform as well as it did. This is the CPU cooler I've been testing against. So this is the Noctua NHU12S. A great cooler, very low noise as well. And I've got to say, both of them, when it comes to noise output, I would say there's not really a great deal in it. Both of them spin up to around about 1500 RPM, lows of kind of like 300, 400 RPM. So very, very quiet in operation, but surprisingly powerful. So let's take a look at some of the results we've got from our testing. So to start off with, we've got our high and low recorded temperatures, and this is doing a 5-minute loop in Cinebench R23. So we've got the Noctua coming in with a lowest recorded temperature of 41.3 degrees Celsius on our Ryzen 7 5700X3D processor, and the Thermalright come in at 40 degrees.1. So a little bit of a gap there, not a great deal. Low temperatures aren't really that important. More importantly is the highs. So the Noctua got 73.8 degrees Celsius and the Thermalright got 68.4. That is absolutely a huge gap for a air cooler. I was very, very surprised indeed. Now, all of this is being run in this particular setup with the glass panel on. Basically, yeah, all the fans set to our usual mud profile. So it's kind of 20% at 20 degrees, 40% at 40 degrees, 60% at 60 degrees, and at 70 degrees at full speed. And both of them got pretty close to that. Obviously the Thermalright a little bit under that, 68 degrees. I think That is very impressive. And also that is reflected in the Cinebench scores. So the Noctua got 13,467 points, and the Thermalright scraped in a little bit of a win there, not a huge one, but around about 150 points with 13,609 Cinebench points. So overall, for 25 quid, this thing is absolutely awesome. Thermalright do a lot of really good stuff. Their water coolers are actually dropping in price at the moment. So if you're looking at a 360mm AIO, check out the review we did of one of those. Again, excellent prices, and things like the Frozen Warframe, those are getting cheaper and cheaper. So if you're actually looking for a really cost-effective budget cooler for your CPU system, whether it is Intel, whether it's AMD, whether it's a newer one, whether it's an older one, there's bound to be something which fits the bill. And I think this, with that little screen on it, is absolutely excellent. And again, if you're making PCs or flipping PCs and you want it to look a little bit special, but you don't want to spend an absolute fortune on an AIO with the LCD pump heads, then I think this is a fantastic choice, and it's got the performance to boot. So there you go, that has been my review and thoughts on the Thermalright Assassin Spirit 120 ARGB. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash the like button. If you want to see more content of this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe and also the chime notification. That way you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.